when Coach Prime was getting hired, we got a tip maybe a week in advance that we should have some stuff prepared for Coach Prime, that it's like, it's actually got some legs to it. It might actually happen. My office was kind of in the corner where everybody has to walk by, and I had a window that faced in the office next to the door. I was sitting in there with the door closed, making my Coach Prime graphics, trying to be as discreet as possible. But, we had an interim, and all the coaches are, worried and want to know who's going to get hired and all that. Somebody saw through my window that I was making Coach Prime graphics, and there was a report that staffers have been seen prepping marketing materials for Coach Prime's hire at Colorado. And I was like, yo, who's leaking this stuff? Because I didn't say anything, and I'm the one making the graphics. And I was like, that's the only thing I think of, is that somebody saw through my window that I was making the stuff.
They have a grainy picture of you, dude.
Yeah.
With in the background, you can kind of see it.
Yeah, I turned around, there's a guy with a Motorola Razor taking a picture, and it's like the Bigfoot photo.
Yeah. But somehow more grainy.
Yeah.
It's just this long hair. You could see a little bit of the mustache.
Yeah. I turn around, there's a guy waving a Polaroid photo, waiting for it to dry.
Got it right here. Coach Prime is coming to Colorado, guys.
That was still one of the more wild nights of my entire life, but because we got the call that it was finalized and all that, and we need to be on the tarmac at it was 1:30 in the morning when he arrived, and we get there, and we're trying to get there in a hurry and all that, and we had two cars of people, and I can't remember who was driving, but somebody went through a yellow light, and the car behind us is like, well, shit, we don't know how to get because the airport, when you're driving out there, you have to have clearance, for lack of better words, to drive out there. So the other car was like, well, shit, we need to stick with them. So they just blow through the red light to keep up with us to get into the hangar, all that stuff.
Can you imagine telling the cop that? Being like, hey, I'm going to go meet Deion Sanders.
Yeah. Luckily, I was
yeah. You'd be like, all right, please step out of the vehicle and go,
Yeah, it's a Colorado State fan.
Put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, dodge the whole thing. Yeah.
Man, that had to be such a whirlwind. Just okay, he's coming in now. This is going to be the start of the Coach Prime era. Obviously, you were there in 2022, where it was pretty much the exact opposite of what it is now, buzz-wise. I mean, yeah, what was all of that like?
That was the only hire they could have made that actually made me a little scared for my job, because we're kind of tied with our side's a little bit different than a coaching hire, but we're tied to the head coach. Mel Tucker hired me at Colorado, brought me to Michigan State. When a new coach comes in, you're not entirely guaranteed to keep your job when they come in. At Alabama, when DeBoer got hired, they got rid of everyone. So you're not entirely safe. Bucky Deion Jr. does all of Coach Prime's media and whatnot. When he came in, I was like, there's a real possibility that they just hire him in our place, and we're out on the streets. But we met with him that first night. We were with him. We did a facility tour that night, and we were there until 4 a.m. And then at 7 a.m. the next day, we had a meeting with him and Deion Jr. and all that, and just kind of got to introduce each other or meet each other and all that stuff. And then it's yeah, we're gonna work hand in hand. You're gonna do Coach Prime stuff. We're gonna do the university stuff. And there was a little bit of not tug of war, but they wanted to post on the Colorado main accounts, but the way that they run their social media strategy is a little different than ours, and just didn't align. And there's some copyright stuff that they don't have to deal with typically, but when it's a university page, we have to deal with it. So there was just a learning curve, I would say, when he got there. So yeah, it's just working through the kinks, because the stuff that we do is pretty non-traditional than most programs, having cameras around for every meeting and every practice and every workout and all that stuff. Other schools don't do the behind the scenes like we do. So there was just a lot of stuff we all had to learn together, because we weren't used to working that way either. We were, showing the games and, practice highlight here and there, not the meetings where guys are getting bad news, all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely a learning curve, but then also at the same point, it's like I'm not. There was like some frustrating stuff, but I wouldn't say it was frustrating overall. It's just like some things you had to learn. But then it's like you've got all this hype too, and all this like pressure. It's like everyone in the world wants to see what you're doing right now, and everything you do is going to go viral. So it's just a crazy flip of the switch from what we had going to the current situation we're in now.